What's going on, ballers? It's Jack here, back for another edition of Talking Ball. And the 2018 NBA draft was a lot of fun. There's a ton of top prospects in this one, lots of depth throughout the draft. Lots of talk before the draft about big trades. Wasn't so many, crazy trades, I would say, but we did have a big one early on. And to me, it's too early to say winners and losers, but there's certainly some picks that I liked more than others. And the first one was the Mavericks moving up, selecting Luka Doncic at 3, giving away a future first-round pick to do so and swap with the Hawks at 5. I thought it was a brilliant move by the Mavericks, able to go up there, get Luka Doncic, who can come into their team. He doesn't have to be the primary ball handler with Dennis Smith there, but is my number 1 rated prospect in the draft. To be able to get him at 3 without having to give up too much in return was a home run pick for the Mavs, in my estimation. Just a great selection for them at the number 3 spot. I thought the Magic as well at 6. I really like, what John Hammond's building there in Orlando. Jonathan Isaac, the top pick from last year, was hurt most of the year, but I'm still very high on him. They keep Aaron Gordon, if they're able to keep Aaron Gordon this summer. Add Mo Bamba, you've got a lot of defensive length and versatility there that, if they can just get a point guard and Jarrett Jack is a free agent veteran point guard this offseason would be a great fit there. But man, there's a lot of potential brewing in Orlando. Now, moving a little bit further into the draft, another one of my favorite picks, just in terms of fit, was actually Grayson Allen going to the Jazz. I thought, actually, back-to-back picks there, the Wolves with Josh Okogie, the Jazz with Grayson Allen, and even the Bulls with Chandler Hutchinson. All 3 teams I thought really hit, their spots there, looking for guys who are going to come in the early 20s, be able to contribute right away, but also, their skill set matches what the team needs. So with Okogie in Minnesota, they really needed somebody who could be a 3-and-D type guy, take the pressure off, but also space the floor, play some defense. They need someone else who can guard consistently on the wing. Besides Jimmy Butler, Okogie sure looks the part. Grayson Allen, just in terms of his scoring ability, the Jazz need somebody else who could score the ball consistently. And Grayson Allen, if there's one thing he can do, it's score. And Hutchison to the Bulls, they desperately needed wing help. And I thought that was a great way to address it with Hutchison, the 4th-year player out of Boise State. While he may not be the strongest shooter, he's certainly improving. His ability to get to the basket is certainly there. And they needed somebody at the wing spot who at 6'7" certainly fills that void, who can get to the basket. And I really liked the Hutchison pick there. Finally, in terms of rounding out the first round, I liked the Celtics picking Robert Williams at 27 and really fell into their laps there. They'd been looking for a center type for the past couple of drafts, and Robert Williams' athleticism, his ability to protect the rim and switch on to smaller players is much needed for them. Finally, just in terms of overall picks throughout the draft, I thought the Hawks did a nice job. They added shooting throughout the draft. Trae Young, Kevin Huerter, Omari Spellman. 3 guys, 3 different positions, 3 guys who shot 40% from 3-point range. So they clearly had a plan going into the draft, and they executed. So if you're a Hawks fan, I think you got to come out of this draft feeling very positive. Also, the Pistons, I thought, while they didn't have a first-round pick to be able to add 2 defensive-minded guards in the second round, Kyrie Thomas, Bruce Brown, I thought that, if you're not going to have a first-round pick, if you're going to come out of the draft with 2 guys who I think are going to be rotation players in the NBA, you've done a great job for your franchise. And new head coach Dwayne Casey there gets a couple of guards that are going to be, if not in the rotation right away, eventually will work their way into it. Lastly, in terms of positives, things I liked from the draft, Jalen Brunson, the Mavs have had a lot of experience with undersized point guards. He's going to continue that trend, but I think he's just going to be a very good player for many years to come. And, getting him and Doncic, 2 very smart basketball players, handle the ball, pass, it's a great step forward for Dallas, who's been kind of in between in years past. Moving on to picks I didn't like as much. you know, it's tough to say now which picks are going to work out, which aren't. But I didn't love the Colin Sexton to the Cavs pick. I thought that I like Colin Sexton as a prospect. I don't love Colin Sexton as a prospect. And to me, if you're picking Colin Sexton there, I know, we don't know what's going to happen with LeBron, but it almost is a signal that they don't think he's going to come back. I don't think Sexton's the best guy to play with LeBron. I know you don't draft for team fit, especially when you're picking that high up in the lottery, but I think you have to be aware of the situation. Maybe someone like Mikal Bridges would have been better for the Cavs at that spot. Additionally, I don't think it's right for me to question the great Jerry West, but I didn't love the Jerome Robinson pick at 13. I liked his ability to shoot, score the ball, and yeah, he's definitely a good shooter, a good scorer, but I didn't love the upside. At 13, I just thought, maybe Zaire Smith would have been a better option, even Dante DiVincenzo. I know they just picked Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I feel like they should have gone for more upside. Time will tell if I'm right. We'll find out very quickly, I think, with Jerome Robinson, who's a guy who I expect to hit the ground running. So we'll know what type of player he's going to be very early on in his career. Also, the Blazers picking Anthony Simons at 24 I thought was pretty questionable. We don't know too much about Simons, but to me, the Blazers needed somebody with size, who could score the ball, and Anthony Simons is only about 6'3". I know he has the long wingspan, but I think you got to look for someone with a little bit more size. Jacob Evans, who had been long rumored to go to the Warriors, I think would have been a better pick, even though he does something similar to Evan Turner. You're not going to not pick someone because you have Evan Turner on your roster. I think that may have been the better way to go. Other than that, overall, I thought teams as I said earlier, did a rather well job selecting throughout the draft. There's lots of things that other picks I liked, intriguing selections. I thought the Knicks really took a high-risk, high-reward type draft, selecting both Kevin Knox and Mitchell Robinson. This is either the type of draft that is going to keep their GM in town for many years to come, or it's going to have them fired in a couple of seasons. It's very, very risky, in my opinion, the type of draft that they had. But, that's why you play the games. And so we'll find out in years to come. I'm curious what you guys think. Who did you think had a good draft? Who did you think had a poor draft? What guys fell that you were surprised about, and who went earlier than you thought? Let me know in the comments below. And I'm glad to talk the draft with you this season, and we'll be back for another great year next year. Peace.